My family had to flee a civil war in Somalia, and my mother, who was widowed, gave birth to me in her own home. She couldn't go to the hospital because the hospital was destroyed. There was no doctors, no anesthesiologists, and she had to give birth by herself and just had one person, one of our neighbors, a young girl, help her. And we had to flee the country, and she fled 2 months later. As an infant, and she was holding me in her arms, walking through a desert with my siblings and I, and getting to a refugee camp in Kenya. And for me, I don't personally remember the trauma of that experience, but my mother lives with it every single day. Having her entire life turned upside down, having her husband die, her country no longer existing, and having to come to a new country where you didn't speak the language, where you don't know the customs and the culture, and having to build a new life from scratch. There are people who are still in those refugee camps that have gotten married in those camps, who have given birth to a generation of children in that camp. And for them, they don't have an option of fleeing to another country to start a new life because of these policies that Donald Trump has instituted in this country. These restrictive migratory policies that are targeting communities fleeing violence. The demagoguery going around the Hispanic community with this president, calling them, rapists, drug dealers, and telling working class Americans who are unemployed or their factories shut down that they're unemployed because these Latin American refugees and migrants took their jobs. And that's not the reality of it. These factories have been closing down for years. They deflect the blame from the government and from the actions of politicians to innocent immigrants, people who are fleeing gang violence, people who are fleeing hunger and starvation, and saying that these people, these brown and black colored people, are your enemy. They're the ones that are causing all the problem. The diversity that we have in this country is an asset for us to be proud of, not to be scared of. And we should be welcoming of people into this country from other places with different cultures, languages, histories. For me, Bernie Sanders is a person I believe will stand up for what's morally right, not what's politically expedient, and stand up for working class folks, people like me and my family, refugees, Muslims, immigrants, people of all different backgrounds. He's the president for all of us. And for me, that's what I care about. I don't care what he looks like, and I don't care what his age is or what his religion is. I care about what he stands for. I care about what he believes in.